Okay, so it's day 57, and of course, I'm back again for another one of these videos. But yeah, because I've been doing these videos for a long period of time, I feel like I've kind of covered a lot of topics that I would like to cover again, but I've already covered. So covering them again, it's just. I mean, I kind of say that as if I think every single person's watched every single video, which they haven't. So if I said something, I don't think it'd be too bad. But there's a few things I want to kind of go over today, more so things that I've just kind of realized about, I don't know, life in general, right? And stuff along those lines. Yeah, I've also got a spot here, so excuse that. That's pissing me off, but is what it is. Anyway, so yeah, first things first. There was something that I saw recently about the fact that you have no competition, like no competition, but it seems like you've got competition because the kind of people you interact with online, or the content that you're consuming, like this content you're watching right now on my channel, is the people watching it are doing the same thing as you. So it kind of seems like everyone is doing the same thing as you, trying to be successful, to which there's loads of competition, right? But if you look in the grand scheme of things, if you think about everyone that you went to school with, I think maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% are doing what you're trying to do right now. And the rest of them are just kind of, in the nicest way possible, kind of living life like a feather in the wind, not really like taking grasp of what they could be doing and moving forward in that regard. So what I've come to realize is that you get stuck in this hole of people online and you think that everyone's trying to do the same thing as you. Everyone's trying to be successful. Everyone's trying to do this. But in the grand scheme of things, not many people are trying to be successful anyway, because they're just kind of living literally like, I don't know, think of it as like maybe a surfboard on a wave, right? They can't do anything. They just kind of get thrown around right by the wave, or a feather in the wind. Same idea. So a lot of people are doing that, and then the people that do try and do stuff like this, a lot of them will give up at the first hurdle for an extended period of time and then quit, or give up, or whatever. This is excuse that, whatever. So you really don't have much competition at all, but I can understand why it seems like you do, because as I say, algorithms are kind of created to the content that you're into, the content you interact with, to which the content that you're watching is content that you're into, and therefore other people on the same wavelength to you are going to be watching as well. To which everything you interact with online is going to be stuff that's on the similar wavelength to you're doing, to which it seems as if the whole world is trying to be successful and do the same thing that you're trying to do and move forward with your life in whatever regard that is, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's creating businesses, and it seems like the businesses that you're trying to pursue are saturated, or whatever it is, right? But the thing is, with saturation, a good example to use is SMMA, right? Now, don't get me wrong, I think SMMA is very, very saturated now. I think it's very saturated. So yeah, there's a lot of people going down SMMA. I mean, if you ask most people, if you asked 100 people, what are you going to do to make money online? I think at least 50% would say SMMA, because of how big it's got recently. But of those percent, 50% of people may be doing it, but how many people actually take action and not fall at the first hurdle? Like, maybe they're like, oh, I can't be asked doing as much outreach of it as is needed to actually sign clients. I can't be asked. It takes too long. I can't be bothered. I'd rather just get a job, and because it's easy and it guarantees a paycheck at the end of the month, whereas this doesn't guarantee that it's going to be successful. So people just give up. So the competition that are actually in the niche, that are quote unquote your competition because they're doing the same stuff as you, aren't actually competition, because most of them they'll just give up at this first hurdle. They're all what I would say let's say pussies, right? They just give up straight away. They don't just keep going. They'll just give up because it gets tough, or they don't know if there's actually going to be an outcome to the amount of work that they're putting in. To which, if you were to put enough work in for an extended period of time, you're going to get an outcome regardless. You will get an outcome 100% if you actually do what you've got to do for a long period of time and do exactly what is needed. So it's just down to actually sticking with it and being determined and actually finishing what it is you set out and sticking to your word. But most people that do this kind of stuff, they do it and then it doesn't work out straight away, and they just quit straight away because it's like, Is this worth my time? I'd much rather be playing video games. I'd much rather just be working a job that guarantees a paycheck at the end of the month. And that's how everyone gets stuck into that trap. And everyone has hopes and dreams, but they're not willing to put the work in to actually get to their hopes and dreams. So the reason I'm saying this isn't to shit on everyone. The reason I'm saying this is to make it clear to the people watching this video, as well as like myself and whatever, that the competition that you've made out in your head as competition isn't actually competition. There's only a small percentage of those people are actually competition if you actually get the work done. Your main competition is your head. Honestly, your main competition, your main barrier between you and success isn't other people and making your niche saturated as much as it might seem like it is. The hardest part of getting to where you want to get to is the battle with your head and doing the things that you don't necessarily want to do, but you just do them anyway. And I've learned that over extended periods of time doing the same thing, kind of similar every day, that before you go and want to fight other people, not physically, but in the realms of business, you need to win the fight with yourself first. So there's that, and that's what I think that's the main reason for, let's say, a lot of multimillionaires waking up at early time in the morning and getting stuff done. Because if they wake up at 4, 5, 6 a.m. and they've just got work done in the first few hours of the day, they're going to feel ahead of their competition and they're going to feel good about themselves, to which they can keep moving forward every single day. And that's why that's the main principle behind working in the morning. Is it just makes you feel better, makes you feel better than everyone else. As much as that sounds egotistical, it makes you feel like you're beating your competition, and therefore no one's doing what I'm doing. So of course I'm going to be successful, and you keep going like that. But so that's your competition. It's the people that are willing to do stuff that beats their competition. That is your competition, not the other people who say they're going to do stuff but they never do it. Because there's a lot of people that just say shit but don't actually follow through with it. And I think all of us are good at this. Every single person has done this in the past. Every single person, regardless of how successful they are. But it comes to a point to which you've said it enough times and you realize, fuck, I'm just fucking up. I'm saying this stuff and I'm not moving forward. I need to just either keep my mouth shut or say it and stick to my word. But I think the best idea is to keep your mouth shut and then let your success speak for itself. So that's kind of my take on that. I think people just kind of like to say about their goals because it makes them feel good and it gives them that somewhat of a dopamine hit, like actually achieving your goals does. To which, like, your goals don't mean much. What defines you is what you actually do. But everyone likes to say these things because it makes them feel good about themselves. But in the grand scheme of things, there's a study done. I can't say the exact details, but if you go around telling people that what you're going to do, it diminishes your chances of success, like loads. And if you want to look it up, I think there's an Andrew Huberman thing on it or something along those lines. If you wanted to look it up, but I just keep your mouth shut and just get the work done and win you just gotta win the war with yourself. If you can do that, you can do anything. So what I would say is find a way to fight your head and beat it in a regard to discipline and everything like that. And then when you've done that, then you'll be able to find things so much easier. And the hardship to actually beat your competition is going to be so much easier. Like, it's just going to be like nothing to you doing stuff. You've just got to win the war of your head and not give in to urges like checking social media, like doing things that don't move you forward. And just even the small things where you're, I don't know, sat down on the sofa and you know you should do something like take the bins out, but you sit there and you don't take the bins out. That's a loss, and it makes you feel like you get that subconscious feeling of I don't get stuff done straight away, and it just compiles on itself. To which every time something like that comes up, whether it's taking the bins out, whether it's washing up, I don't know, whatever it is, even the small things, you've got that stack of proof in the past, like I didn't do it in the past, why should I do it today? Whereas if you flip that on its head and you do what you know you need to do straight away and you just get up and do it, the more you do it, the easier it's going to be, because okay, last time I did that, I did this straight away and it wasn't actually that bad. Okay, I'm going to do it again and again and again and again and again. So yeah, you need to just keep doing stuff and not let the demons, not let the demons get into your head, to which they give you an excuse to not do what you know you need to do. So you need to kind of like build that proof with yourself that I am what I say I am, I do what I say I'm going to do. And you just build that over an extended period of time as you progress, basically. So yeah, I think that's important. I think that getting over your mind, like controlling your mind and not listening to the lazy part of your mind, is probably the key part of success and everything, because your mind kind of controls everything, you know. So you've just got to say no to your mind and just do it, regardless of how you feel. And the more you do it, as hard as it may be, and as minimal as it may seem at the time, and you feel like, nah, it'll be fine if I miss it one time. I think if you do it, it's just gonna make it so much easier moving forward to do other things, because even the easy things, the hard things, if you do an extremely hard task, like if you say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna work for 4 hours distractionless. Like maybe you'll get bored, of course. You might get bored, but in that boredom moment, you do something that isn't checking your phone or something that you usually do. And you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to stay working for 4 hours and I'm not going to get distracted. Or if I do get distracted, I'm not going to get distracted by social media or my previous habits. I'm going to just walk around my house, or I'm just going to, I don't know, go walk in the garden, or do a little 5-minute walk, or whatever it is. And then you get back to the work. And if you then do that 4 hour period of work, you can then say the next day, okay, I did it yesterday and it was fine. Why can't I do it today? And you just keep doing it. And the more you do that, the easier it's going to get over time. And I think that's why successful people are successful, because they've realized that and they can work for extended periods of time. And because they've done that and they've got that proof with themselves, they trust it and they know they can do it again and again and again and again as they keep going. And being consistent with something is well, I mean, people just give up after a while. They will have one day of greatness and then they'll just give up. You just need to keep going regardless of how you feel. Just be consistent. And I know I sound like that bold guy with Bugattis. I'm not going to say his name because my thing will get flagged, but it's just true. It's just true. It is just true. You've got to prove to yourself that you can do what you say you're going to do, and face the hardships and not be a pussy, because your successes define who you are rather than your words. So that's all I'll say on that. I think you get the idea. But yeah, that's basically point number one. So your competition literally aren't competition. Most of them. Obviously a small percentage of them are, but on the whole, your competition aren't really your competition. So you just kind of block out the noise and just get down to work on what you know you need to do. And it's coming from a 20-year-old, so I know it's not the most credible source of information to get from. If you get it from Elon Musk, you'd be like, holy shit, this is true. It's coming from me, but this is just my opinion, and it's from myself. It's from I think I've read about 80 books in the last four years. It's coming from them. It's coming from media I've consumed. It's coming from whatever. So it's obviously compiled all of the best parts of media that I've kind of consumed over the past few years. Whether it's correct or not, I don't know, but this is my opinion. So take it with a grain of salt. Think of it as you like, and do whatever. So yeah, that's my first thing. Another thing was that I mean, obviously it's fairly obvious, but you can literally do anything. And I don't actually know where I got this from. I think I just kind of realized it. Oh no, I was listening to a Twitter space. You can literally do anything. Like whatever you want to do. And obviously there's a certain threshold with some stuff. Like it's going to be pretty hard to become a professional football player at the age of 30. So that makes it ever more important to work hard when you're young. But it depends on what you want to do. But I can't tell you enough how important it is to kind of get money young, or get successful young, right? And I know people say, nah, you know what, I'd rather chill. But if you want to do that, fine. I'm not judging you, but this is my kind of take, right? But you see a 25-year-old getting out of an Aston Martin, you see an 80-year-old getting out of an Aston Martin. Which one do you respect the most? A 20-year-old, 25-year-old. So you put in the work now. It's just gonna compile over your life, and your life's gonna be extremely better. And also, your life isn't that long, you know. So don't waste it mindlessly consuming random content that doesn't give you any fulfillment, but it's nothing but a stimulant and a pastime to just almost waste the time that you have on this earth doing something that doesn't bring you any value whatsoever, and it's not intentional in any regard. Swap that out for something that is intentional, whether it be work, whether it even just be reading books, or just reading something that's intentional. Even watching intentional YouTube videos, that's fine. But mindlessly consuming self-help videos about how to optimize your day, how to be productive, how to do all this stuff, just because it's on your recommended and you feel, okay, this is going to change my life if I watch this video, and you finish it, it's like, okay, cool. Then you watch the next one, and the next one, the next one. You're just mentally masturbating, feeling good about yourself, even though you're not moving forward in any regard. Maybe you learn a thing, but like, you just wasted about however long when you could have been doing something else completely, like, so much more productive. So it all comes down to using your time intentionally and doing things intentionally. It's as simple as that. And I know how easy it is to get caught up on your phone or waste time on TikTok or whatever, because you get stuck in that moment where you're just sat on the sofa for no reason. You just find yourself sat there, or you found yourself sat wherever, and you don't know what to do. And the problem now is because people can't sit with their own thoughts and think about what they need to do and what they could do to be productive right now. They then avoid that thought, and they're like, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just go, like, they don't even think about it. They just subconsciously go on their phone and they just consume it because they don't want to face the hardship that is thinking about what they're going to do or thinking about anything, because everyone just seems to avoid their thoughts nowadays and not face them head on, and rather just distract themselves from them for as long as possible. And then they get to go to bed at whatever time in the evening. They lie there, and because there's no way to avoid their thoughts, that's when so many people sit there and can't sleep and get, well, not insomnia because that comes from other things, but they can't sleep because they're just sat there with their own thoughts, and they're just thinking about thoughts because there's nothing else they can do to distract them from it. And that's why people go on social media and stuff in the day, because that distracts them from facing their thoughts and doing the things that they know they need to move forward. So what I'll say to you is, a little thing that you can add to your kind of productive lifestyle is to sit there when you're in a moment of, I don't know, you're getting out of bed and you have the instinct to go on your phone, or you're sat downstairs on a chair on the sofa for no reason, and because you're bored and there's nothing to do, quote unquote, you go on your phone just to avoid yourself, because that's doing something, right? It's doing something, whether it's productive or not, it's doing something. You avoid that, and this is part of the mental thing. If you can just keep doing this consistently, you're going to move forward. But I've said that. You say to yourself, okay, I'm not going to go on my phone. I'm going to think about, right, what am I going to do now that's productive, that's intentional, that's going to move me forward, and do whatever. And then that's what's going to move you forward. Just doing that and actually facing your thoughts head on. And if you face your thoughts head on, you're probably ahead of 95% of people. The bar is so low. Even I hate to talk down on them, but even my mum, my dad, my sister, whenever there's a moment of boredom, they go on their phones to check Instagram and to check whatever. And I ask them, like, what are you doing? And they say, oh, I'm just checking something, or I'm working. But I know for a fact that my dad was literally watching Instagram reels earlier, like, and I was like, I've already given him the rundown of it. He was just sat there watching it, and I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm actually quite enjoying this, Ollie. I was like, yeah, but you don't want to watch it. It's like, yeah, I do actually want to watch this right now. You don't want to watch this. Yeah, I do want to watch. No, you don't want to watch this. You're just avoiding things. And he was like, he put it down. He's like, he was dead straight. He was like, yeah, in hindsight, actually, yeah, I need to do this. And he got up and did his thing. So you've just got to avoid, like, every video I'm talking about social media, but it's such a fucking trap. It's such a trap. I would actually say social media is as bad as drugs and all this stuff, because of course drugs are an addiction, and you fight for your addiction because you need that hit of dopamine again from whatever it is that you're taking. And that's why drug addicts get it, because they get that hit of dopamine, then they want it again and again and again and again. So they do whatever they can to get it. But you have the same thing from your phone. It works the same way. But it's so much easier to access, that it's such an easy thing to just kind of do. So I think you get my point. I think you get my point. You've just, like, oh man, I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but it's such a prevalent, like, issue that it needs to almost be tackled head on. So, but you've just got to be, you just got to be intentional of it. And I'm so determined to make a difference in the world as best as I can. And of course, these videos are just kind of a documentary series of my process. But of course, I'm not perfect. Of course, I've talked a lot in these videos, and I'm not the most perfect person in the world. I'm not saying that I never get addicted. I never go on social media. I never get hooked into TikTok. But I'm intentional of it. If it happens, I'm intentional. I'm like, okay, I know what the fuck I'm doing. Stop it. And I know it sounds somewhat toxic saying this stuff. I'm like, mate, be a bit chill on yourself. But it's like, if you want to move forward, you've got to be able to like kick this stuff out of your life. It's got to go as best as you can, and you've got to realize what the distractions are that are holding you back, which for 99.9% of people is social media, and you've got to take action to stop it. And the most important part of that is your mind, because that's what's making you do everything. Your subconscious, your habits, that's what's making you do everything. So if you can cut them out as best you can, that's what's going to move you forward. And I've made a whole YouTube video on how to get rid of habits, but I'm getting fucking aired by the editors. Man, it's taken me 52 days to upload this video. I think it's 53 now. I recorded this video 53 days ago, and I still haven't got the video. And I've paid him as well, so I should just pay him after. Anyway, you can watch that video when it comes out. So subscribe to the channel for when it's out. But yeah, I think I've kind of explained my thought process here. And I think you all know, I don't even need to tell you, I think you all know what your biggest problems are that's stopping you from getting where you want to get to. Because people comment it, people say it, and they're like, I think, RK, this guy is the, like, this guy, he's been in my channel since like day one. He watches all of, like, I don't want to say all of my videos, but he watches a lot of them and comments on a lot of them. And this guy is like the biggest legend ever. He comments on every video, and I think yesterday or today he commented and said, yeah, I want to be productive, but I've been slacking the last few months. I was watching social media until like midday, and I don't know what to do. And I mean, at least one thing is being intentional with it, and then you've then got to stop it. And it's so hard to overcome an addiction. You almost need like an accountability partner. So I don't know the best way of doing this, because I feel like I could help maybe, and I don't know, but yeah, it's realizing what the issue is and then attacking it head on, and obviously trying to be mentally strong about it. If you really wanted to quit your phone addiction and you realized how much of a problem it was, you knew what goals you wanted to get to, and you knew how you were going to get to your goals, then I think it would give you more purpose to get rid of your phone addiction. But if you're not clear on what it is you want to do and what it is that you're trying to push for in life, then what motivation is there to quit your phone? Because right now your brain thinks of it as a stimulant, an easy stimulant that makes you feel good. And if there's nothing else that's going to make you feel good in your life to kind of override that and do instead of your addiction to your phone, then why would you change to do anything else? So you need to be clear on what it is that's actually going to move you forward, and you need to know down to the finest details what it is that you need to do. And that's what's going to make you quit your phone addiction. Because if you just say, I want to quit my phone, like, there's no reason why you're quitting your phone. You need a reason why. Because otherwise it's just going to be there, and you're just going to relapse every time. Because like, you say you want to quit your phone, but why? Why are you quitting your phone? And I do recommend doing this on paper. Just write down all your thoughts. Write down all of your issues on a piece of paper. Write down all of your like thoughts that are holding you back, and write down your goals. I think I said this in a video a while back. And then just move forward on that and realize, and then under that, write how you're going to fix your goals. How you're going to fix your addictions, how you're going to fix your problems, and take a step action on that. But with that, you're not going to quit your addiction, your issues, without realizing why you're doing it. So you need to understand before anything else why you're getting rid of your addiction, and what it's going to do for your life if you do get rid of it, and then you move forward from there. Because if you're just doing it for the sake of doing it, it's not going to work. As much as you think willpower is going to work, it doesn't work. Like it doesn't fucking work. So with that said, that's 30 minutes. That's 24 minutes of me talking what I think is hopefully valuable. And yeah, I appreciate you all watching the videos. Thank you very much. And it's day 57 or 56. But yeah, just remember to use your time intentionally. That's all I'll say. And if you see yourself getting distracted by whatever, and you know you don't want to be doing what the thing is that you're doing, then almost just be on your phone, look up, think about, okay, put it down, and think, what am I going to do now? Instead of just avoiding that thought, face your thoughts head on. What am I going to do now? And you do that thing. It's as simple as that. But it's simple as that, but it's not as easy as that. So, well, it is as easy as that, but it's that simple, but you've just got to be able to face your thoughts and actually take action. So, yeah. Anyway, with that said, thank you for watching the video. I'll be back tomorrow night, of course. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate you all watching the videos. And yeah, thank you. And yeah, feel free to subscribe to my newsletter below. And yeah, I'm going to be posting weekly newsletters on different topics that I just write about. So feel free to subscribe to that below. You just have to put your email address in. It's as easy as that. Anyway, thank you for watching the video. I'll be back live tomorrow night. Not live, but I'll be back with a video. Appreciate you watching. And yeah, peace. Thank you. Cheers.